Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. As always, my name is Dee. If you are new to this channel, welcome and don't forget to subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always tuning in. Today I'll be showing you guys how I made this beautiful top. I made it in a size large, but you can make it in any size, and I'll be telling you how to. But before that, let's head over to the materials. Here are the materials that I'll be using in this tutorial. I'll be using a darning needle. I'll be using a pair of scissors, a tape measure, stitch markers, and I'm going to be using a 4mm hook. And for the yarn, I used 3.5 skeins of yarn. This is what is left from the 4th skein, okay? And this is yarn B, soft and sleek, low peel fiber, and this is 99%, it's 99% low peel acrylic and 1% metallic polyester. It's a size 4 yarn, and it is 114 grams, 186 yards, and 170 meters. With all that being said, let's dive into the tutorial and get started. So to get started, we are going to start from this point, and then we're going to keep on increasing until we get to the longest point that we want, and then we're going to decrease again until we get back to the lowest point, or until we get to the same number of stitches that we start with from the beginning. Okay, so this is going to start from your rib cage, so you need to get your bust measurement. Then you're going to divide your bust measurement by 2, because we're going to make these 2 identical pieces. So your bust has to be half of this, and then the other half is going to be the second piece that you make. So with all that being said, let's get started. All right, to get started, we're going to make a slip knot. With our 4mm hook, or you can use the hook that's recommended by the yarn that you're using. Please ignore the stuff on my nails. This is glue that got stuck on my nails and I can't get it off. So after you slip knot, you're going to make a chain of 30. So I'm going to chain 30. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll keep going until I have a total of 30 chains. All right, I have my 30 chains completed, and next we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so you're going to yarn over, and in the third chain from the hook, so count 1, 2, and in the third you're going to make a half double crochet. I'm going to turn my chain around and work in the back bumps of the chain. So in that first chain, I'm going to place there my first half double crochet, yarn over, half double crochet in the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, and yarn over, pull through all, making a half double crochet. We're going to repeat this, making 1 half double crochet in every chain until we have 1 stitch left. And at the end of this row, you should have a total of 30 stitches, or whatever number of chains that you started with. If you started with a chain of 20, at the end of this row you should have 20 stitches, excluding the 2 chains that we added at the end. Once you have 1 stitch left, you're going to make 2 half double crochets in that stitch. So that's 1 and 2, and by doing this we have made an increase in that last stitch. This is what you should have. Row 2, chain 2, turn your work. So chain 2, turn your work, and in that first stitch you're going to make 2 half double crochets. So you're going to yarn over, and in the back loop of that first stitch you are going to make 2 half double crochets. That's 1 and 2, and then you're going to make 1 half double crochet in the rest of the stitches. And once you have 1 stitch left, you're going to insert your hook through both. So instead of 1, you're going to go through both stitches and make your half double crochet right there. Chain 2, turn your work, and then start with your first half double crochet in the back loop only. Half double crochet in the back loop of the next stitch, and you're going to continue making 1 half double crochet in the back loop of every stitch until you have 1 stitch left. When you get to the end of the row, you'll have 1 stitch left, and you're going to go through both loops and make 2 half double crochets in that last stitch, and there you have made an increase. So we're basically making increases on one side while keeping the other side straight. Okay, so now we're going to chain 2, turn our work, yarn over, and in the first stitch we're going to make an increase of 2 half double crochets, and then make 1 half double crochet in every back loop of every stitch until we get to the end. And we're simply going to repeat row 2 and 3, but I'm going to show you guys one more time. So work your way to the end, and when you get to the end, you're going to go through both loops of the last stitch and make your way back to this side, and then I will be showing you one more time how to make an increase, and then we can do the rest of the camera and so on. Okay, so every time you get to the end and have 1 stitch left, you're going to yarn over and make your increase on this side where we're supposed to make an increase. Keep in mind, one side is straight, the other side we make an increase. So you're going to repeat those two. You're going to repeat row, let me see, 1 2 3 4 5. You're going to repeat row 4 and 5 over and over until you get your desired length, or until you get to the longest point. Okay, I'll show you. You're going to keep on increasing until you get to the longest point. I marked mine on this one. All right, so I'm going to keep repeating until I have a total of 22 rows, and then I'll be back so I can show you how to decrease. All right guys, this is how my work is looking. I have 22 rows completed, and let's see how long it is. And I have 12 inches long, so the longest point is 12 inches. And I'm now going to get my stitch marker and mark this row. The reason why we're marking it is so it will make it easy for you to count the remaining rows that we're going to work on the other side. So we have 12 inches. This is 12 inches long, and the shortest part is 7 inches. And now we're going to chain 2, and you're going to work your way of 1 half double crochet in every back loop until you have 2 stitches left at the end. Okay, so chain 2, turn your work, continue making 1 half double crochet in every back loop until you have 2 stitches left at the end. Again guys, ignore my nails, they are not dirty. That is glue that got stuck on my nails. Okay, so now I'm at the end of my row 23, and I have 2 stitches left. And what we're going to do here is yarn over, insert a hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop. Remember, we're working in the back loop. Yarn over, insert our hook, going through both loops of that last stitch, pull up a loop, and then you'll have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all. And that is how we're making a decrease. That is our first decrease. After that, you're going to chain 2, turn your work, yarn over, and in that first stitch we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, which will give you 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through everything. And then after that, you're going to keep making 1/2 double crochet in every back loop until you get to the end. And as you can see, we have started decreasing. It's starting to slant a little bit. So get to the end of the row. When you get here, do what we've been doing, work through both loops, and then make your way back so I can show you how to decrease. Okay, I'm at the end of row 25 and I have 2 stitches left, and what I'm going to do is yarn over, insert my hook in the back loop of the next stitch, pull up a loop, you'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through both loops of that last stitch, pull up a loop, you have 5 loops, and yarn over, pull through everything. Then chain 2, turn your work. So row 26, you're going to repeat row 23, 24, and 25. So you're going to keep going, making decreases, and I'm going to keep repeating this, making my decreases until I have 30 stitches, like what I started with here. Okay, so I'll keep going until I have my 30 stitches at the end, and then I'll be back. I now have 2 stitches left, and I'm going to make my last decrease. And now I have 30 stitches. So after that last row, we are now going to make a single crochet row around the bottom part of our top, and we're going to start from this last stitch by inserting our hook and making a single crochet. Then in this first row, we're going to make 2 single crochets. That's 1 and 2. Then in the next row, we're going to make 1 single crochet. Then in the next, we're going to make 2 single crochets. We're going to make 1 single crochet in the next row and make 2 in the next. And we're going to repeat that pattern until we get all the way to the end. Okay, keep alternating between 2 single crochets and 1 single crochet until you get to the end, and I'll meet you there. All right, now I have this 1 row left, and I'm going to place there 2 single crochets, and then I'm going to end with 1 single crochet right in this stitch right here. And this is what you should have. So remember, you have to make another piece, an identical piece like what we have made here. So you need to have 2 of them, and we are going to join them together. So once you're done with your 2 identical pieces, we are now going to join them together. But before that, you need to make sure that they are very well aligned. And for me, I'm going to consider this last single crochet that we made at the bottom. That is going to be my right side for this top. So I'm going to get the right sides facing each other. So the side that you're looking at right now is the wrong side. So to join the two panels together, I'm going to go through the first stitch with a slip stitch. And by doing this, I'm joining them together like so. And then the single crochet row is going to get one single crochet. Make sure you go through both of the panels. Okay, and after that, you're going to go through the first stitch. You're going to go through the back loop of the first stitch and through the back loop of your second panel, and again through the first stitch of that panel, and then you're going to make a single crochet like so. Insert your hook in the back loop of of both panels and make a single crochet. And you're going to continue making one single crochet in every back loop for both panels until you get to the end. I have one stitch left and I'm going to go through both with a single crochet, then go back in the same space with a slip stitch, chain one, then with my scissors I'm going to cut off the end. This is how it should look. This is how the right side looks. But we're going to repeat this, what we did here, we're going to do the same on this other side. Once you get to the end of the row and you have 2 stitches left, you're going to go through both and make a single crochet, then go back in that same stitch and make a slip stitch, then chain one, get your scissors and cut off the yarn. Okay, I will have to weave in all these tails, but at the moment this is what I have. And the next thing we're going to do is you're going to put this on your body and then you're going to mark where you want the sleeves to start and stop at. Okay, so I'm going to try it on and see where I want the sleeve to start, and then I'll be back. All right, so I just went ahead and tried it on, and then I marked where I want my straps to start and stop, and I marked on both sides of my top. And what I did was count from where we joined from, like the ridging. I counted 7 rows, and then I marked the 8th row and then skipped 2 and marked the next row. So I have 2 rows in between the stitch markers. So that is what I did. You can go ahead and try yours on and see what works for you. But now we are going to move on. You're going to get your yarn, make a slip knot, and we are going to start from this first stitch marker. So I'm going to take it out, insert my hook in that same spot where the stitch marker was, then attach my yarn, chain 1, then you're going to chain 2, which does not count as a stitch, and then in that same space you are going to make 2 half double crochets, that is 1 and 2. Then you're going to make 1 half double crochet in the next make 1/2 double crochet into the next side row. There are no actual stitches, so you're simply going to go under that very first stitch or chain. Okay, and into the next I'm going to make 2 half double crochets. Then this is the last one, and I'm going to place there 1/2 double crochet. Okay, so we have 2, 1, 2, 1. After that, you're going to chain 2 and turn your work. Again, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. And we are now simply going to make 1/2 double crochet on top of every stitch. So you simply yarn over and make a half double. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches, and I'm going to continue like that, chaining 2, turn my work, and on top of that very first stitch, make my first half double crochet and make 1/2 double crochet on top of every stitch. After making the last one, chain 2, turn your work, and then you're going to repeat that until your strap is long enough to where you want it. All right, I'll be back once I have enough rows, and then I'll be showing you what to do next. Guys, I'm back and I have 35 rows here completed. And what I'm going to do is attach this to the back or the front of my top. So I'm going to insert my hook where I have this stitch marker. So I'll take it out. And in that same space, I'm going to insert my hook. So I will insert it from the first stitch of my strap and then go in that space from the main body of the top, and then I'm going to make a single crochet, and then I'm going to insert my hook in the next and through the back make a single crochet, and I'm just going to make sure that it is attached and won't come out undone. Then this is the last one. So the last one has to go where we have the last stitch marker. So I'll take it out, then insert my hook, make my last single crochet, then go back in that same space with a slip stitch, chain 1. I could start from here to do the rest, but I don't want that, so I'm going to cut my yarn off, pull this tight, and I'm now going to start from the middle right here, make a slip knot, and from this point you're going to attach your yarn, chain 1, so For the sleeve, for the rest of the stuff that we're going to do around the sleeve, we're going to be using the double crochet stitch. So chain 2, which does not count as a stitch, yarn over, and in that same space make your first double crochet, chain 1, insert your hook in that same space and make your second double crochet, then chain 1, and this is the next space right here. I'm going to insert my hook, make a double crochet, chain 1, back in that same space, make another double crochet. Okay, you should have this. Going to chain 1, and in the next row you're going to insert your hook, make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet once again in the same space. So we're basically making the V stitches in every space, separated with a chain 1. So chain 1, then the next row gets 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the same space, chain 1, and you're going to repeat that all the way around the sleeve. Okay, once you get to this point, you're simply going to chain 1 and cross over to this strap that we made, and just keep making the V stitches in every side row. So I'll keep going like this, and I'll meet you guys at the end of this round. Once you make it to the end of the first row or the first round for the sleeve, you're going to chain 1 and slip stitch on top of the first stitch, like so. And then this time you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to turn your work. The chain 4 is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 1, and then you're going to yarn over, and on top of this next stitch you're going to make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet on top of the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet on top of the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet on top of the next double crochet, and you're going to repeat this, making 1 double crochet on top of every stitch. Okay, so we are simply ignoring the chains we chained in the previous row, and we are making a chain 1, then double crochet on top of the next double crochet from the previous round. Work your way around, and I'll meet you right here. Once you get to the end, you're going to make your last double crochet, chain 1. I have this stitch here, but this is where the chain is coming out of. So chain 1, and then you're going to slip stitch on top of the third stitch or chain, and that is how you close off row 2 for the sleeve. Row 3, we're going to repeat this row that we just completed, so it's very easy, and it's what we're going to repeat until we have our desired length. So you're always going to start with a chain of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Okay, remember to always turn your work, and on top of the next stitch make your double crochet, chain 1, double crochet on top of the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet on top of the next stitch, chain 1, and you're going to repeat, making 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet on top of the next stitch. All right, I'll meet you guys right here at the end. Once you make it to the end of row 3, you're going to chain 1 and then slip stitch on top of the third chain, chain 4, turn your work, and then you're going to repeat row 2 and 3, okay, for the sleeve, making this mesh pattern over and over until you have about 15 rows. I'll be back so we can make the decreases to complete the sleeve. So keep going, making 1 double crochet, chain 1 double crochet on top of the next stitch. The sleeve looks super big, and that's totally fine. We are going to shape it here shortly, so keep going. I'll keep going and then I'll be back. Then I'll do the same thing for this side. Okay, whatever we're doing here, we are going to do to this side as well. So I'll be back once I have a few rows here completed. Okay guys, I'm back, and this is my last row for the sleeves. So I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to slip stitch on top of the 3rd chain. And at this point, this is how my sleeve is looking, and I have made 15 rows. We're now going to make some decreases so this part can get smaller. And to do that, here is what we're going to do. We are going to chain 2, turn our work. We're going to skip this next stitch, and on top of the next, we're going to make a single crochet. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Skip the next stitch, and into the next, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through to make a single crochet. So we're basically skipping a stitch and making a single crochet. Skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next. Skip the next, single crochet. And you're just going to keep repeating that. And this is how we make the decrease. Skip a stitch plus the chains in between, all that. I'm going to keep going like this until I get back to the end, and I'll meet you guys back there. All right, I'm at the end, and my last single crochet is going to go in the same stitch that the chain is coming out of. So I'm skipping this next stitch and making a single crochet into this last one. Hold up, just like that. And then we're going to slip stitch on top of the next single crochet, like that. And that's our first decrease, and this is how the sleeve should be looking at this point. Next, we're going to chain 2, turn our work. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch, in the next 3 stitches. Okay, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then you're going to skip the next and single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Skip the next stitch and single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and you're going to repeat that. Skip the next and make 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And that's what you're going to repeat for this round. Okay, I just made my last stitch, and I'm now going to slip stitch right on top of the first single crochet, like this. And this is how much space I have. So, and I'm done making my decreases because this is big enough for my arm. So after that, we are just going to chain 2, turn our work. And this time we're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch. So I'm going to start from the next stitch with a single crochet, and I'm going to make 1 single crochet all the way around. All right, my last stitch is going to go in the same stitch the chain is coming out of, and I'm going to slip stitch on top of the first single crochet. Chain 2, and I'm going to make 1 more row of single crochet, and then I'll be done. So So again, make 1 single crochet on top of every stitch from the previous round, and do that until you get to the end. Once you make it to the end, you're going to slip stitch on top of the first single crochet, chain 1, get your scissors and cut off the end, leaving a long tail to weave in. This space is enough for my arm, so before you make all those 2 decreases, make sure you have enough space. And once you are done, you're going to do the same thing for your second sleeve, and this is what you should be having. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to make a row of single crochet around this neckline. I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm starting from the back of my top, insert my hook in that row and chain 1 to secure the yarn, then add 2 more chains, and in that same space you're going to make a single crochet, then single crochet in the next row, single crochet in the next row, and you're going to keep going, making 1 single crochet in every row. There are no actual stitches, so we are going with the side rows just through the row. Make 1 single crochet. Okay, now we get to this point. When you get to the sleeves, you just keep going with 1 single crochet. Nothing changes. All right, I'll keep repeating and I'll meet you guys right back here at the end. Once you get to the end, you're simply going to slip stitch on top of the first single crochet that you made, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. Then pull this tight and remember to weave it in. But this is what I have. And this brings us to the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.